but we'll obviously start with the Carolina Hurricanes yesterday afternoon on the island. The thing is, Louis, this is a team that can be frustrating when they lose, but in the back of your mind, you know that they're absolutely capable of bouncing back. They've done that all year. They're a very resilient group. I mean, there is a different conversation to be had about attrition with talent, but in the time being, against the Islanders, they keep finding guys who step up. So the legend of Mackenzie McEachern was born.
Great name, by the way.
Amazing name. An amazing name. And Antti Ranta, who we always worry about his durability for 3 games, has been pretty outstanding, all things considered. And now they have a 3-1 series lead with a chance to wrap this thing up at home on Tuesday afternoon. Again, you can be frustrated with them. You can be mad at some of the things, how they play out, kind of giving in to what the Islanders want to do. But then they bounce back, and it makes you love them again, and that's what Sunday was about, especially in that second period.
Well, that's what the whole point of like a playoff series is supposed to be, right? The highs and lows, the emotion, flying around, thinking one second they lose 5-1, and you're like, oh no, here we go again.
Oh, I got mad on Friday, man. Yeah. I mean, it could also have been the fact that I had a few in me, but I got mad on Friday night with the way things absolutely melted down because it almost felt like, I think it was a twofold issue. The first one is you could start to see they were fortunate to win Game 2, but that's been the Canes all season long. So whatever.
Dramatic.
It's a very dramatic team. Absolutely dramatic team. But you could see where the sins of last year could be creeping up into this year. And the way that the Islanders were like, fine, we can't beat you straight up, so we're going to start being jerks. We're going to start being physical. We're going to start doing the extra stuff. We're going to get under your skin. Stuff that rattled them against the Rangers last year, and eventually they lost that. And it kind of played with their food with Boston in the series before that. So I thought to myself, okay, we know what Game 3 is going to be about. And sure enough, the Islanders executed that to a T. There were pains in their ass. The Canes could not take advantage of the opportunities for them. And again, it's very typical. As you mentioned, it's playoff hockey. The team coming back at home down 2-0. They're going to have a bounce back game.
Yeah,
that's what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So all eyes were on Sunday, and they responded. And I'm like, all you can do is tip your cap to the Canes and say, "Yep, that's what you've been all year. That's really impressive." And now you can buy yourself some time with a win on Tuesday in Game 5 as these other series continue, especially the Rangers and Devils, because if the Canes have more attrition in terms of bodies, that's going to be a huge issue. So it would be nice if they got a little rest going to the next series.
You need to, if injuries that are going to knock people out are going to be the issue, right? Whether it be the ones in this series, whether it be the ones in the regular season, you need to make sure that everyone who is on the ice is as healthy as possible. So yeah, don't play with your food. Take care of business. And end this early, and then let the Rangers and the Devils go at each other. That was the whole point. The whole reason for not the whole reason for winning the Metro, but that was one of the main things about winning the Metro.
It's a huge reason why.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're and Gilio and I have talked about this in terms of the Islanders of the playoff group. The Islanders are not the best team.
No.
I mean, congratulations, you made the playoffs. It's all good. But of all the teams that you're playing, they're the perfect first round opponent. So take care of business. And I know I got some pushback about this online. It's fine. It's whatever. I still stand by it because it's sports. They hadn't won a road game in the playoffs since June 3rd, 2021. That was Game 3 against Tampa Bay Lightning. It was the only game they won in that series.
Yeah.
Lost it in 5. And when they lost on Friday, I'm like, all right, it's now a thing. They haven't won a playoff game, and if they don't win on Sunday, it's really going to become a thing, and Brind'Amour is going to get really mad at all the questions about not having one on the road. Is that playing with you is in the back of your mind? I know he answered some questions about getting that off his chest. He's like, I don't think about that stuff. Yes, you do.
It's human nature.
Exactly.
That's how people work. I mean, I remember I was at the availability outside of the airport on Thursday, and a question was brought up about comparing this year's team to last year's team, or the one before that. Classic coach speak. We don't think about that 1 year at a time. This team is different than the other group. Blah blah blah. But if they had not won that Game 3. Oh my gosh, Game 4. The pressure that would have been on then. And then let's say you take care of business at home and then you have to win on the road. You know what I mean? Or maybe you drop one and then you have to win on the road against the Islanders. Again, fortunately, they're not in that position. They got the proverbial monkey off the back. So now you just got to carry that forward and don't, rest on your laurels, if you will.
It's the OG. That's Louis Fernandez, WRAL. I'm Joe Ovies. Gilio not here today. He'll be back tomorrow. And again, I know it's not a popular opinion to bring up the fact that they hadn't won a road playoff game, the way I looked at it, had they lost yesterday, then Game 5's pressure would have been, everybody would have been talking about the Islanders. Everybody wants to talk about the Islanders in terms of how some of this playoff coverage has gone on. But all of last year and how they went to 7 and eventually lost to the Rangers was going to mess with this team. Rod Brindamore, the head coach of the Carolina Hurricanes, focused on Raanta, though. I mean, again, he was spectacular in Game 4 on Sunday, kept this team in it after a pretty weird first period and allowed the Canes to really take off in the second period. Again, he made some outstanding saves. Here's Rod on Ranta's performance.
I know you guys love talking about the goalies, but it's just give us a chance, keep us in the game, and that's what he's done. Just all the starts. So, good on him, that's for sure.
So that was Rod Brindamore, and he's absolutely right. Give us an opportunity. That's what Raanta did. And then speaking of opportunities, you've got Mackenzie McEachern taking the full opportunity to make this playoff debut known in the absence of Jack Drury, who went out with an injury, although I think he's going to be available for Game 5. Here's Rod if he had some sort of inkling on McEachern's ability and what he did on Sunday.
Well, because I watched last few games of their season, and because you just never knew, we were shorthanded, so I'm like, what if we need a guy? And he just jumped off the page. So that's why I say he earned the call up, number one. But then you talk to the coach down there, and I talked to Brock this morning, and he's like, it's a no-brainer. This guy will help you. So it's nice when the guy who knows him the best is like, and I know he's going to endorse his player, and he also knows we need help, and so it was easy decision.
An easy decision, he said. So this is from ESPN Stats and Information. McEachern had a goal and an assist. He is the second veteran player in NHL history to score a Stanley Cup playoff goal while making his debut, excluding rookies. The other was Bob Hess of the Sabres back in 1981.
Wow.
You weren't even born yet, Louis.
I was not. I was so far from being born.
I was, what was I? I was 2. I was 2 at that point.